The Acting Brunch.
Hi, John. Thanks for joining me today on the Acting Brunch. How's it going, mate?
Nice one, Drew. Thanks for asking me. Yeah, I'm sound. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, I'm all good. All good. All good. Really looking forward to speaking to you, mate. So I just want to set the table to start off with. Just want to introduce you. Sort of, you're an actor and comedian from Liverpool. You've got a great list of credits already, acting wise, being in shows like Tin Star, Coronation Street, Little Boy Blue. You're recently in Time as well. That was on with Stephen Graham, which was great. Plus, you also started a hugely popular series of web series during the lockdown over the last year, which has then grew into I'm going to call it a phenomenon, mate, because it has been really huge viral video, which has developed into a sort of web series, and it's moved on to the point where you've actually performed your own one-man show in Liverpool recently, and you've got dates upcoming too. Plus obviously you've done so much more, mate. So I'm looking forward to chatting to you. So yeah, where do we start? For me, like I'm interested in your regarding you with your acting, like sort of how acting for a start, is that something that you've always wanted to do, or is it something that you came across later on?
Well, it's always something that, okay, so I started 15 years ago, but up to that point, it was always something I thought I could do, but I never done nothing about it. So I always thought, I'll do it later on. I'll do it later. I'll do it when I'm older, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, when I was 19, 20, I started to learn to be a barber. And then within the next 4 years, I moved around different shops to build up confidence and knowledge to open my own. So I opened my own barber's Sweeps in Walton, which is still going today, and it's great. And but anyway, about 2 years into opening a shop, I used to have this customer that used to come in, and he used to he's like, I want to do acting, John. I want to do acting. Come with me. Like I was just so focused on my business. It wasn't for me. It wasn't the right time. And he came, oh, come with me. I was going, Anyway, one day he come in to get his haircut and went, I've booked you an audition for the acting school in Manchester next Friday, and you're coming. And I'm like, what? Anyway, so I thought, you know what? Fuck it. So I can't swear, can I?
You swear all you like, mate. That's fine.
So I thought, fuck it. Anyway, so I got like Manchester School of Acting, it was Mark Hudson, and I got I got an audition fucking script and all that. And I'm in mind learning a script and that. I'm thinking, this is mad. So then I went to this audition, and I walked in the room, and like that was a weird environment for me. I was well stepping out of my comfort zone, and then I was apologizing to them and all that, saying, I've never done this before, because I felt anyway, I got into school and done the first class and stuff, blah blah blah. It was all right. We just all met each other. Then the second class, this was sort of a big moment for me. The second class, we learned a script. I can't remember what it was, and we all used to get paired up. And I paired up with a girl called Claire Dean, and it was quite dramatic. It was dramatic. It was like a couple, so there was a lot of emotion in it. And then I remember performing with this girl, and this is the moment I sort of fell in love with it. It's literally like I got lost in that moment, and it was like there was this. I've described it like this loads of times. I really let myself go, and it was like I was in the middle of a tornado. That sounds weird, but everything else other than this place become blurred, and I come out of it, and I was like, I never was like that. Everyone was going, I want to work with you next week. And I thought, I like this. I liked it. And people say acting's, here's something, Drew, and there's a misconception with acting, and I don't know whether you agree with me or not. People say acting's a chance to escape being you, but it's not. It's the opposite. It's a chance to actually be you, I think. It's a chance to let everything go and just let your flaws and your emotions and stuff. So I think it's a chance to be you. And then, and I think that's what I fell in love with. Because I think at the time I had a lot of expectations on me with my barbers, blah, 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 blah. And it was a chance to drop all the fucking act and the bullshit and live in this fucking life I thought I wanted to live. And it was a chance to just be me. But at the time, you think it's a chance to be someone else, but it's not. It's a chance to be.
I like that. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, mate. And from you, so you did your training at MSA, and how long was you training for? So you got the taste for it then? Did you start to
I was, yeah, I went down well on MSA, and I was so passionate about it. And every Friday we went, and that was the highlight of my week. And I've met some really good friends in there that I still speak to today. So about a year in, like there was David Shaw in there, and I could see all these people getting agents and stuff like that. And I'm like, but my attitude at the time was like, people like me don't go off and go on the telly. You know what I mean? That was just a low self-esteem, working class mentality. And I think that a lot of that holds a lot of us back. Anyway, I just happened to know an agent in London because me kid's mum, like dad's second cousin's an agent. So I thought, well, I've met her, I'll apply to her. But I told her very early on that I when I started acting, I sent an email, I'm starting acting. And she was like, and she told me later on, she was like, shit, fuck's sake, he's going to want me to fucking take him on now. And I'm going to come and say no and all that. So she was never, ever going to take me on. So I thought, when the time come, I thought, I'll apply to her. So I applied to her, and she messaged David Shaw and stuff like that. And David Shaw said to her, take a chance on him. He's actually all right. So she took me on. I didn't expect her to, but she did tell me later on, I was never, ever taking you on. And I was dreading the day you were going to ask. Anyway, she took me on. And then what happened then? MSA. Weird one in MSA. And it's one of these things that I can never get my head around. Well, so what happens? They have a cull, but that makes it exclusive for them, I think. They have this cull where they get rid of loads of students and get new students. And there was this class where we had to prove ourselves and we had to like do the whatever. So I went in, it was at David Shaw. And I done my bit, and David Shaw went round the class and said to everyone, this is the night we're getting tested. Who was the most believable? What was the most enjoyable and believable scene? And everyone's, I'd say 90% said me. So I thought to myself, fucking sound, I'm fucking in. Anyway, so we had to wait like 3 weeks to find out if we're getting back in the school. And I never got back in.
Really?
I never got back. But loads of other people who, in my opinion, was shite, they got back in. I always wondered, why did I ever get back in? But I don't know. I was quite liked in that school. I was quite liked, and I don't know whether I had too much of a mouth on me. No, not a mouth. I weren't cheeky, but I might have been influential in there, and I don't know whether they were threatened by that. But I loved the place, do you know what I mean? So that's the only thing I can come up with. So yeah, anyway, so I started, got with my agent, sound. First ever job I went up for was I started doing film production at this point in LMA in Liverpool. I think I was the first person to ever sign up for LMA, because in my head at the time, I thought, if I want to be an actor, I need to learn about how it all works. That's not really, you don't really have to do that, but that's just how I fucking work. So when I done film production, and I got an audition, and it was for The Right Stuff, for the ident, for The Right Stuff, first ever one. And I went up and I got it. Wow. I got the job, and I was like, wow, got my fucking first job. Anyway, I filmed it, felt like a superstar, and then they cut it, so I was never on the telly on that one. But then I got the job. So I went up. So after that, I went up for 30 commercials. No, I did. Sorry. I went up for about 20, 25 commercials and never got one. Then one day, the penny dropped. I realised what you had to do. And then, so I've got a mate who's a casting director, Dan Roberts, and he told me this. He said, you've got a great hit rate. He says, do you realise for every commercial, about 700 people are put forward? So to finish in the top one is quite good. So after the penny dropped, I got 4 in a row after that. Boom, boom, boom on the bounce. Yeah, I did.
That's mad.
And then, while I was doing that 20 commercials, I went up for a film called Will, which it was like a big £30 million film with Bob Hoskins and Damian Lewis. And I got the fucking job. So they flew me to Istanbul for 3 weeks, shared a trailer with Kenny Dalglish. So that's me being
that was about Liverpool, wasn't it? The football.
Yeah, I never done football like it was a flap. But it was still a great experience. And what was I going to say then? Yeah, so I went 1 minute I'm cutting hair, next minute I'm in fucking Istanbul.
Yeah.
Like in this big fucking massive film, like I'm like, no way. But then it sort of went from there really, and then yeah, I've done it since then. I've done 30 commercials now. I tend to, I'm trying to stay away from them now because I don't know. I think it's great money, and I've traveled the world. I've literally traveled the world, but I want to put my energy into the TV bits now, and I want to encourage my agent to put me into the TV stuff. And
yeah.
films. Well, I've done lots. Anyway. I think I've got about 21 credits on IMDb. So
exactly, which is brilliant. And I think because I do remember you doing a commercial actually, because it was quite standout, a McDonald's one, and I remember it was like a thing, and everyone was going, "Oh, it was because of it was the Liverpool accent learner at the end, the McFlurry thing." And it was great. Yeah, so it's great. You've done some great ones. That's awesome. Like. But so yeah, so you've carried on. So
let me tell you the thing was so okay. So when I started acting, I remember a customer saying to me in the barber's, he went to me, I sat him in a chair, but the guy around, and he went, "So you want to be an actor?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Well, you're not exactly fucking Brad Pitt, are you?" Oh, and I thought, what the fuck? But this is people's attitude towards acting and stuff like that. And then, so I'd go, and it fucking does my head in when I go into a casting, and then you'll be speaking to someone outside, and you'll be like, "You know, all right, mate," and you're chatting. And when you go into the room, they're a completely fucking different person.
Yeah.
It's going to sound all thing, you know, but there's what I realized. The key is to be yourself. A casting director, a director, a producer, you might know them in a different way. It might be a fella you sit next to in a pub, and if you're not an actor and he's a producer, you're not impressed. But actors have been intimidated by this, and what they do, they put on this fake, they put on this act. Just be yourself, because they're just normal people like us.
And they want you to be themselves. That you want you to be yourself.
You want to be able to work with you. You don't want they smell desperation and they fucking run a mile.
Yeah.
So that's what I realized. So. Like, I know I'm going on a bit, but I got this. I used to work for Act for TV in Liverpool as a tutor, and there was this fella, Simon. So I'm there with Michael Jackson, the casting director, and we're auditioning people for this school. And this fella comes in, Simon from Wales, very middle class. He's very, hi, you okay? And he comes in. I haven't got no fucking degrees and all, and I just turn up at the fucking classes and auditions. And so Simon comes in and he goes, "I've got this, I've done this, I trained here, done this, da-da-da. And then his performance is fucking brilliant. And he walks out, and I look at Michael and I went, "What the fuck do you want me to teach him?" And he goes, "Knock it out of him." And I went, "What?" So I was always intimidated by Simon. Because I thought he's brilliant. And he's looking at me thinking he's a fucking blackguard. I'm traveling from Wales every week, paying them this, and he's fucking. Anyway, the time come where Michael Jackson, he got rid of a few people out the school, me and Charlie. I still don't fucking know why. But anyway, but Simon phones me. I started to get on with Simon really well, but this is my point.
Yeah.
Simon phones me and goes, "Hi, John, it's Simon." He said, "I heard you're not coming back to school." I went, "No." And he goes to me, "Well, just to let you know, I won't be coming back." And I went, "Why?" He said, "I've been doing this now, John, for about 15 years. And he said, I got a part on Coronation Street today. I've just got off the phone with my agent, he confirmed me. And he said, I wouldn't have got that job if it wasn't for you." And I went, "Why is that?" He said, "Because I went in and I started speaking about my cat, and I started speaking about me painting my fence. I would paint my shed." I said, I've just learned to just be fucking me. And just be me and not go in and try and second guess what they want or, put a fake version of myself up." And he said, "This is what I've realized." And Simon, spoke to him yesterday actually, but Simon gets regular work, and that's what I'm on about. It's about being your fucking self.
Brilliant. That's a great story. As you said, someone who probably wouldn't have done that originally, and just a simple adjustment. Be yourself. It's not hard, is it? And what's the results come.
He had all the skills. He's got it, because clearly I was intimidated by him. He had all the skills, but he just didn't know. That was the point that he couldn't get past
in the room. Wow. That's awesome, man. So you taught at Act for TV for a while. So did you go to the Manchester one as well. Did you go to classes?
After LMA never had me back. Not LMA, fucking MSA.
Oh, right.
I went to DNA. Wait!
Yeah, DNA.
I went to DNA
with Darren. Did you do classes?
Darren Gordon, Darren Gordon. And then we were talking about this before we come on. That's how we sort of
passed in there because must have been classes at different nights or something.
We were friends on social media and whatever, and I've always knew he was. But then I was thinking on the way up before, I don't know whether we've actually fucking met. Those memories in my head. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
All the time.
Exactly.
So and then I went to
DNA then.
TV after there.
Yeah.
Then I started my own class in Liverpool, and it was great. It was going fucking fantastic. But then Michael Jackson approached me and said, "Would you be interested in coming to work for us?" He must have been seeing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so I left there because obviously I felt that was a step up. I'm working for top casting directors. It's an opportunity for me to be seen. Blah, blah, blah. But it never worked out. I didn't do nothing wrong. I just think the school went going in a direction.
Just wasn't. That's it. It's experience, isn't it? That you've, but at least you took the chance going there and with the right intention and that. So, which is awesome. So you've got, which is great. So you've done you've been at some cracking hit rates with the commercials and stuff, and you've managed to get some really good. I've loved how you've built a lovely CV over the years of appearances for some cracking shows. You've been in Coronation Street a couple of times as well. I know because when I was looking at your CV, you've had it's a delivery. So you've done a couple of
it's like it's like a reoccurring character. It's usually once a year. Never happened last year, but I think when the casting director sees delivery guy, they go, "Oh, we'll get John back in." Yeah, so I come in. I'm not an extra. I come in. I have a little bit of back.
Yeah, of course.
But you never know. That might develop into something else.
Exactly, and that's the thing. But it's some cracking roles. I remember you were in Little Boy Blue as well. What was the experience like working in that? Because obviously that's a story close to everyone's heart, and that, and being you were being a part because you were a policeman in that, wasn't you? I remember you doing like an interview. Or was it?
It's called a warder, and
warder was it? Was it ward?
Yeah, one of the lads confessed to me.
That's right.
It was quite a crucial scene. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you know what, dude? That was episode 3. There was 4 episodes. Episode 4, I had this scene in the courtroom, right? It was fucking brilliant. Boss acted me fucking socks off. And they cut it, man. It was such a brilliant. Yeah, they're all hailing abuse at me and everything. And I fucking done well. But anyway, so what else have I done? I've done Cuckoo with Andy Samberg. Well, there was Will.
Did I see you were in Moving On as well? If you don't,
a little part Moving On with Johnny Vegas. He was directing, and Jason Mansford as well.
Yeah.
What else? Forgot about Moving On. Cuckoo. What else? Just fucking.
And we were talking about with Tin Star as well. I remember you as the bookie in that one because I was in the first step as a little bro, but you had. I loved it. Like it was the old bookies. Like it was a belt of that one. So
more of attraction. Get on this. I like this story. I was in my coffee shop one day and some fella comes in and he's talking to me. He goes, this was years ago. He goes, I watched this Tin Star. And I was like, oh yeah, what's that? He went, fucking watch it. Set in Canada, yeah. It's about busy, yeah. And he's fucking sick, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, so I'll go. And I was being polite. And I'm like, I'll write it down, yeah. I'll put it in my notes in my phone. So I'll put it in my notes in my phone. And whenever I've got a new iPhone, I never put notes in my phone. So when I get every time I get a new iPhone, all the information transfers. So whenever I go on my phone or whenever I swipe my phone, it'll say Tin Star because I'd wrote it in my notes.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later, I'm standing there with the main star of Tin Star in Tin Star, filming for Tin Star, telling her that story. She said, that's a lot of attraction. That. And I said, I know. I might do one for Star Wars.
yeah.
Little did I know, she was one of the main fucking characters in fucking Star Wars.
She was, yeah. She was.
Yeah.
Genevieve, yeah. She was.
I was a cunt saying that.
She was.
She was sound.
She's great and she's lovely, absolutely lovely, and really encouraging as well. She's a
strong woman here.
Oh, absolutely.
Strong woman here.
Strong.
No, she was.
She was. Great actor. Yeah, me too. Well, absolutely. She was lovely. Lovely.
Yeah.
Great actor. So yeah, no. So you've had some cracking credits, and I want to talk about as well because I know you've written your own stuff as well, and I want to move on to regarding the lockdown videos, the Corona mums, etc. But you've written before, haven't you? Like I remember you did a short scene or a short film, and you were in a church and stuff.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I seen that. I seen it a couple of years ago, must have been when you put it on, and I went back to have a little look at it. Like, so it was cracking little short that. And have you done many other shorts yourself as well? And the writing side of thing, which is obviously the creative part of you, but the writing's what I want to get into to lead us on to well,
I'll tell you about that. If there's any actors out there who are starting out or anyone who's been doing it for years and who's frustrated. Now, it's a lot of averages in this. So in the last 15 years, I must travel to London. I reckon, no words of a lie, I reckon about 350 to 400 times. I reckon that's how many times I've traveled for auditions, right? And I told you, I've done 30 commercials and I've got 21 credits on my IMDb. Now that's not bad, but compared to them many auditions, that's the average, you know, that's not a lot. So that's 15 years. I could do that for another 15 years, Drew, and not get this break. And I'm there with knobs on it every casting. The train fares are £100 alone. And then you've got whatever else. And then you mean taking your time off work. So it costs you a lot of money. But people don't see this. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on. Smiley face, be John, blah, 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 do my shit. And I'm never going to get the break, right? So I thought, and it was frustrating. Here's an example. I used to run marathons, right? So if I want to get faster in a marathon, get a faster marathon time, that's down to me. So I've got to train more and I've got to run faster in order to be faster. But that is down to me. So no matter how many times I go to London, no matter how many times I nail an audition, it's not in my hands. So no matter how much effort and work, so over time, that can get frustrating. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah, it's not in my hands. It's always down to someone else. Anyway, so I spoke to Dan Roberts, the casting director, said, Dan, what do we need to fucking do here? And he went, well, look at all the big names, John, like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, blah, 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 blah. Mark Wahlberg, fucking Matt Damon. He said, look at them, right? They produce their own stuff. And a lot of them did. They develop it, they do this. He said, that's what you need to do. Yeah. So I thought, okay, so I can't go make a fucking £50 million film from the off. So you need to start small. So my plan was to write a short film and then go to the BFI, hopefully get funding, hopefully do well with it and build that way. Yeah. So I wrote this short film called Just, and I spotted this flaw in the Catholic Church. It's about limbo, and it's basically a child who's not baptized will not go to heaven. They go to a place called limbo, which isn't fair, really, because it's not fair that kid's damned. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And so it's about the father. You know, he's done all the rules of the Catholic Church. He's done this, got married, done this, and he's still, unfortunately, his child's got to go to limbo. No matter how good he is, if he goes to heaven, he'll never get to meet his child. So it's sort of talking about the frustration, and people still unconsciously live that lifestyle of a Catholic. It's like, because I grew up in that environment. So like eating meat on a Good Friday. Yeah. It's like if people eat meat on a Good Friday, they'll go, oh, I've just that fucking meat. Yeah. There's still a sense of guilt. Yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm sort of talking about. Yeah. Like people, anyway, so my idea was blah, 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 do this. So we created that one that you've seen. That was just to send the BFI as part of our application. That's all that was. Yeah. We weren't ever going to thingy that. We wanted to get money to film that properly. Yeah. Yeah, and being from Liverpool, I'm from Walton, Liverpool. It's a really deprived area. That sort of, we looked at the criteria and that they're strong. You know, they want people, working class people, they want to invest in them nowadays. Yeah. Same with the BBC and all that. So anyway, thought we're in for a chance. So filmed it, blah, blah, blah. Lockdown come. Shit. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that sort of, we could have waited, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, that's where all this fucking Corona Mums thing come about.
Yeah. So dying to talk about Corona Mum. So tell us about how that all started, because and what was your reasoning for doing it?
When leading up to lockdown, like the week before, we were going into something that we've never. It was unknown territory, wasn't it? But like, I'm just very observational. I don't even realize really. I think working in the barbers for so long, you see so many characters, and you sort of learn to just step back and just observe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I grew up in a pub as well, and I've done the same type of thing there. So you get to know these people. But anyway, so leading up to lockdown, people's behavior started to change, and people were prepping for lockdown like it was Christmas. Like they were, like Christmas Eve in the shop where everyone's fucking mad and stocking up on all kinds of crazy shit. And it was the same type of thing. And I was on this couch. I'd slept on the couch that night, and I woke up in the morning. Because if you look on the video, I've got on top on. I literally just woke up, and I do this video with these two women. I done it as a Instagram story. So one speaks, the other one speaks, one speaks, the other one speaks. And it's like, I start off with this woman where she's meeting a mate, and she bumps into a mate in Iceland, and she's like, "You're all done for lockdown?" It's like, "Oh, I've only got to get a few." But I had these little nuances like, all right.
Yeah.
Which people in Liverpool speak like that. People don't even realize they speak like that until I fucking show it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, going to Chicago town pizzas, love, and all that. Yeah. Anyway, I've just done that little video fucking about. And what is it done as an Instagram story? And then I thought, I'll put that on my Facebook. So I took the story and put it on my Facebook, and it went mad. It went semi-viral. And then I've done another one about Mother's Day, talking about fucking lockdown, fucking lock in. You know what I mean? We're like, I'm going out there. And then I was doing them, and I'd done them every couple. And people were loving it because lockdown, we were all locked down, and I don't know, I had a captive audience. And then I'd done one where I was in the barbers looking for I think it was looking for me council tax number to get a grant because and then anyway, so I open this drawer, and there's a wig in there, Kenny Corona wig. That's the wig.
Is that's right?
Yeah, but me and my mate bought that ages ago because we were going to do like a Scouse caveman sketch, and then I thought, right, Karen's got a fella, so I'll come home, and I put the wig on, and I've done this little sketch with the boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was funny. But then at the time, everyone's talking about 5G, conspiracy theories. This is a scam.
Right.
So I picked up on it all, and then I just done this blag video where I'm like, lad, COVID-19, lad. And I just done this 4 minutes, just made it up as it was going along. Anyway, that went fucking viral to fuck.
Blew up, didn't it? Absolutely blew up.
That was the one that really, like I was in the Asda, and I think there was these taxi drivers, and like I'm walking past and I'm watching my video. I was like, wow, and they're all laughing their heads off. I'm like, this is mad. It was everywhere. My Instagram just went fucking mad. It went mad.
It's great though, because what you would do, because it was great relief at the time for everyone, and they were so funny. But it was because it was all you, and obviously you got the wig on, and then you've got but people wouldn't know the characters are going. I can relate to that. That's, they're like that, especially especially Liverpool. But you could, I think, even outside of Liverpool, you can get even different. You could pick up on the type of people who they are and the kind of characters, which is great. Like, so amazing, mate. So that's just
from there. Sorry,
no, go on, carry on.
From there, I done another. You had Karen Kirsty, and then you had Kenny. Then I done a video where Karen comes round looking for toilet roll because he's been stopped by the police. He's scared to go to the shop. Blah blah blah. Because you were only allowed once a day at that point. And then she goes round, and then Karen goes for toilet roll, and it turns out Karen's best friend has been having an affair with a fucking fella. So it created kind of worm. So I just done random videos, but then that created the storyline.
And develop. People are invested then, aren't they? So they're like, they want to know more. So the pressure's on you then to.
And then Kenny, and then Kenny gets caught, and then she does this big fucking thing where she catches her out. She gets her pissed on purpose, and then Kenny goes missing. And it's like, have you seen Kenny Corona? And then there was this. I done this Sky News report We had
Yeah, I
Leanne Campbell,
remember.
we had Dean Sullivan in it. But then I was a chance to bring new characters in. I brought Superintendent Furlough and Craig Lovechild, who's Karen's brother.
Is he the one from Birkenhead? The
Yeah,
Birkenhead
well,
one? Yeah. Or the Whittle, yeah.
But I based that Sky News thing on Shannon Matthews. I was just taking this out the Shannon Matthews thing because, you know, you get really kidnapped. Let's have a straight, so it's not like I'm taking this. But so he looks like Craig Meenan, who was Karen Matthews' boyfriend.
That's
so I
right.
based him on him, yeah. Craig. I know a lot of people know that.
Brilliant. That's a great one, though. That's great. So they started like when you started doing them, because obviously people you said like Dean Sullivan will getting involved and people you know and stuff, but like because the production value suddenly went awesome when you're doing like the Sky News. Next thing you've got like it was like Netflix or like Netflix, and then it was really good. The spoof stuff for that kind of stuff that people were just really loving at the time.
I have to. I'd like because like there's a guy who's gone viral now, Queen of Scotty Road, and he's like times are hard and friends are few. So I understand what happens when things go viral, but I believe unless he does something as good, it'll just everything's got a little shelf life and it fades out. If someone hears me saying that, probably to call me a comfort saying that, but it's true. But I knew this, and I thought, right, I need to make this better. I need to make the last one better. I need to make the next one better than the last one. Or I could have just sat in that one and just enjoyed it and thought, no, this is an opportunity. This.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to make it better every time, and I believe it did. 100%. And then we finished the last one where they find out where Kenny is, they rescue him. Bear in mind, I'm playing like every character.
Yeah, that's the
yeah. And then I put it to bed then. I thought, right, I've enjoyed it. Kill it now. Fucking kill it. Because things get, you bow out. That's what I'd like to do. So anyway, I bowed out and I left it. And then everyone was asking for more. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to take it in a different direction. I'm going to base it on his friend, Derek. So it was who's Derek? And then we done this video where Derek knocks at this girl's house, knocks at Kenny's house, and there's little girls, he's selling drugs. And the little girls at the door like that, what do you want me to have for? And Derek's having this argument with this intelligent kid. Now that went fucking viral again.
Yeah.
And it was like, fucking hell, it's kicked off again. So that went fucking super viral. And then we done another one. And then I brought in this other character. So it went viral like 3 times. I brought in Turkey Teeth.
Oh, my favourite.
Fuck off. And so everywhere I go, it's how are we?
Oh yeah, that's just for those who don't know his catchphrase. How are we? You've got to check because they're all on there. They'll be on YouTube or the Corona videos John May way.
Or if you go on Instagram, it's that John May. Yeah,
that John May. So you can check out all the videos. But Turkey Teeth's great because he's got the Turkey Teeth in the wig and everything.
I'm basically trolling Liverpool. I'm just showing people of Liverpool what they're like.
Yeah,
and that's why everyone, you know what's funny, Drew? It's the people who the mostly like go. They come up to you and go, funny, that's Turkey Teeth, and lads, it's like, and I in my head talking to you, I'm thinking, I've half based it on you.
Yeah,
they go, you get people like that only in real life, the dickheads, and I'm like, so yeah, I'm showing a mirror up to Liverpool. I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, it's great. We're good at laughing at ourselves, though. That's just great, isn't it? Like,
yeah, that's it. That's what Scousers do. And then what happened then? I done Turkey, but my brother went to get his teeth done in Turkey. And I went with him. So I done Turkey in Turkey. And that's
gone well.
It all, yeah.
Brilliant. I love it, mate. It's great. It's because what you've done as well. Also, you're creating at the same time. It's great for you, and you're slowly building and profile wise, it's been fantastic for you. And you've developed now into you had a one-man show in Liverpool last year. So, and that's you playing every single character in this show of all the ones based on the universe you've created as well. So tell us a bit, how did that start to develop? And what made you decide, I want to take this to the stage? What was your thoughts for that?
Well, we done another thing, because we done something with, what was it called? Come Together Christmas Liverpool. This guy contacted me. Yeah, but we raised, with the videos, we raised £70,000 at Christmas.
That's incredible.
For families who were, because people were struggling. So I'm quite proud of that. So we done Kenny's Christmas Carol. So instead of Scrooge, it was Kenny.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
We had loads of names in it. We had Drew Schofield, Jake Abraham, Paul Smith Joker, Jazza Dickens, Tony Bellew, Pete Price. Yeah, we had loads. Brilliant. So we all got together and we made this, and it went down a storm. But while this was going on, it was just before that, this guy, Craig, gets in touch with me. He's like a manager and an events organizer. He says, would you be interested in doing a stand-up? And I'm like, no, I'm not a stand-up comedian. And blah, blah, blah. And I just kept ignoring him. And then one day, I just went, yeah, here's my number. Just phone me. And he phoned me and I thought, fuck, oh, shit. Hey, mate, you okay? Anyway, he sort of talked me into it. And he went, just do stand-up, John May Live, and we'll do this, and we'll do that. And I went, go on then. I was like, what? I've never done nothing like this before. Anyway, yeah, I ended up writing a 2-hour one-man show, produced it, performed it, and it was a success. And I've never done it before. So fantastic. Creating that and having it a success with no experience, I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Should be, and it's great as well. And you're learning as you go. It just sets you nicely instead for the future and what you can develop as well. And you've created your own your characters, your own work, your show, everything now. So just again, it's exciting times ahead for you, mate.
Well, going back to what I was saying before, this isn't about being. I think some people. What I'm about to say, I don't mean it this way. It's not about being famous or recognizable. No. That's a secondary thing. That's your profile, and your profile could potentially give you a career. So it is important to have that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm walking around Liverpool, and it's mad because everyone seems to know who I am. Now, I've got a point. What I mean here, everyone seems to know who I am. And that's not because it was on a TV show. That's not because it was on a film. This was the stuff I relied on other people to give me. People recognize me because of something I've created.
Yeah.
And I've created my own platform.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
100%.
So I've created that. And so I'm proud of that as well. And I fucking created it. It's not like I'm bigging myself up, but I'm just stating facts.
Do it.
No, but I created one of the worst times in the last fucking 100 years as well. So I created this in a really hard time as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying this for other actors. 100%. It's honestly, if you really want to make it, I'm not saying I've made it, but hopefully I'm a few steps ahead than what I was.
Yeah.
But you can either sit round and hopefully get your break, and if you get it, well done. But I think that you've got to make it happen yourself.
Yeah,
you've got
100%.
it. And make people start coming to you then, honestly.
Yeah. It attracts it, doesn't it? I think that's great. It's great advice. Yeah. Great advice. And it just shows, you said, people sit and wait for that phone to ring and complain that it's not ringing. I want you, again, great example of just going out there and...
Mate, there's so many actors who are. I'm pretty transparent, me too, and I'll be honest. I see them on Facebook. I see them around. There's a lot of bitter actors who are moaning that they're not getting work or they're not doing that. But it's like, well, I'm sorry about that, mate. You know what I mean? So if you want to be bitter, that's hate. That's going to cause you pain. Go and do something about it. Absolutely. I could have got bitter. I'm doing this. I go, I'm not doing it anymore. But no, go and do something. Go and be creative and go. Even if it is, look, I started doing it with a mobile phone as an Instagram story, and then it developed. Yeah, and now I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour doing a live show.
That's incredible, mate. And you said it's not like you need this expensive equipment. Any actor who's got like self-tape equipment now, again, just shows you've got the minimum of equipment yourself to start making stuff and just doing things,
I won an award during lockdown. I won an international award. What was it? Mandy.com. It was a short film award, but it was just a Kenny Corona sketch. But I won it. I won out to thousands of people.
There you go.
But I won 500 quid. And you know what I done? I bought a camera.
Yeah, invested it back in. Yeah.
That's it. Everything after that, because I was fucking skin trip. Do you know what I mean? Everything after that. I thought, well, that sketch has made me win that. So therefore, I'll invest it back in a sketch. So again, talking about the, getting better. it was because I invested back into it.
Yeah, and yet I think
I
that's
spent that £500 on a night out, but I never bought a camera.
there you go, there you go, and there you go, mate. And it's more the benefit, the benefits for you, you know, for your career is it speaks for itself. And what about so you're taking the show onto tour on a tour as well? When's that going to be? Is that going to be this year? Yeah,
it's in October. Yeah, we done the first 4 shows and it was Hangar 34, and we were all allowed 200 people a night because
restrictions still at the time.
Yeah. Which was, do you know what? Which was fine. Because that was the first. Because the first night when I went out, I was fucking shitting myself, mate. Shitting myself. And over the 4 nights, I learned a lot. Look, I've got a lot to learn, but I've got a lot to learn. I'm not going to turn around and say no, because I fucking don't. But I'm glad we've done that first, because that's taught me.
Yeah,
it's taught me a lot. But anyway, I'm glad we've done that. So now we're going to Glasgow, Dublin, Cardiff, London.
Wow.
And we've got 2 or maybe 3 big shows in the Olympia. And I think there are 1,100 people a night. So we're going to finish the tour there. Fantastic. So with them 4 shows that I've done, I can take that and then I can apply what I've learned to the big shows. So hopefully the Olympia shows, it's on a bigger scale, and hopefully that could be a catalyst to hopefully move me to the next level again. Hopefully people start to go, keep an eye on him.
Absolutely, and that's hopefully, and I think it will, mate. And I think it's, you said you're doing it all. You said, and I think what a lovely inspiration is for people, for actors who want to go out there, and not just that, anyone who wants to go after something that they've always wanted to. You know, you're not only you're doing all this, but you're balancing that between your personal life, your work as well. You said you're running a successful barbers that's been there to be in business for that amount of time is incredible, and to still be doing it. You're balancing it all, but you're still chasing and going after you.
Let's be honest, it's not easy, and it's like, okay, so I spent 8 weeks. We drove the show. We're saying that, you know, when we sold the tickets, we hadn't even written a fucking show, you know. Sold 5,000 tickets and it didn't even have a show. I thought, right, okay, shit. But anyway, we pulled it off, and that's fine. But 8 weeks leading up to the show, I was just focused on that.
Yeah.
So it affected relationships with people, friends and family. I procrastinated because that's all that mattered. So certain bills never got paid. I neglected myself physically, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I'm not a fucking special, mate, because once them shows finished, I got a bit depressed. Not because I was on such a high and I had to drop. It's because I had to face all the shit I'd neglected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So over since the end of the show, that's what I've been doing. And, you know, getting back on track to go again.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It's not. So it's one of them. But, you know, hopefully if I do make it through, I can look back at that and go, well, I fucking earned it.
Exactly.
I earned it. Worked hard.
Exactly. And the progress you've made already so far just shows you're in the right direction for it, mate. So, you know, just keep going on with it, man. So have you got... Hey, listen, that's the whole point of this. Which also, because I want to promote yourself as well. But you do a podcast as well that you're involved in, which you do called How Are We Family? Do you just tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind?
Well, it was Jazza Dickens, actually, the boxer. He come here to film at Christmas for Kenny's Christmas Carol, and I'd never met him, but I've always been a fan. And as I walk out, goes, I want to do a podcast and I want you to do it with me. And I'm like, I don't know, you know, it's not, because like I've got mates like Billy Moore, he does a podcast, and a few others. Thought that's their thing, you know what I mean? And I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah. So we done it, and it's the How Are We Family podcast. We both had a little break, but we got some big guests. We got like Darren Till, Tony Bellew. We've got some pretty big names on there. They're just to name a few. So, you know, we done all right pulling these in. Anyway, so I had my shows again. It's about prioritising. Jazz has just went for the world title. Unfortunately, never won. But this is a secondary thing. Then we've got our primary thing. So I had a bit of a break from it. And we're going to go back in October. And we're going to have a new studio there in the Shankly Hotel. And you know, it's all good.
Fantastic. Love it, man. Love it. So is there anything anything that you sort of any kind of thing that any sort of thing that you'd love to work on yourself? If you've got any ideas for any films coming up yourself, separate from, you know, the work that you've been doing, or is it just
I'd love to take these characters and create a show. We were working with a producer last year. It hasn't sort of gone anywhere, but you know, we went to Channel 4, we went to the BBC, and we got some good feedback. So we've learned a lot. We've evolved, and that is my goal. Is that sun's blinding. Sorry, that's my. I'll move over here. That's my goal, and yeah, that's what I want. And do you know what, Drew? It would have been so hard for me to have said that maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, because my self-esteem or me mentality, and it would have been like, people like me don't do that. And I think when I do say that now, I say I want my own show on TV, and that would have been hard for me to say, but I can believe I want it now, and if I want it, I can work towards it. That might resonate with you, but it will resonate with others maybe.
Absolutely.
I think we hold ourselves back sometimes.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Totally agree.
So my ultimate goal is to get my own show with these characters and to do live shows.
Fantastic.
And if we get a TV show, that will fuel it to sell the live shows out. Yeah. And then the ultimate goal is to just do what I enjoy doing with the people I enjoy being around. That's the closest thing to happiness I think you can get. Yeah. Big cars, big houses, not there all secondary. You know, unless you're in that good environment and that good place, nothing's worth a fucking wank.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said, man. Perfectly said. Oh, mate, John, listen, I appreciate you coming to chat to me, mate. Thanks for being so open and straight about everything. It's been, I think it's really inspirational, your journey so far, because, you know, there's still plenty of places to go, and I'm looking forward to seeing your success, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to work together at some point as well. So we keep crossing paths without meeting, you know, at some point, I'm sure we will.
I'll see you in Primark one day.
Probably right. Yeah.
All right, Sean, you're all right. So yeah, Sean. Yeah. I don't know the negative comments on the podcast, John, but
oh, mate, absolute pleasure. You take it easy, and thanks again, and I'll speak to you very soon, mate.
Brilliant. Nice one, Drew.
Cheers. Thanks, Sean. Cheers.